In our previous video, we talked about the value of non-verbal communication as a resource for teachers in terms of classroom management. I referred to the golden rule that says move your body, but don't move your voice. And I would just like to, for a moment, talk about your voice. That is your tool, like an artist uses a brush or a doctor uses a stethoscope. You have your voice. And the amazing thing is that as teachers, we are all different. Some of us are loud and exuberant and very extroverted, while others are very reserved and quiet. And that is all perfectly fine. The wonderful thing is that you just have to be yourself. You do not have to pretend to be loud and rambunctious if you are not. And you don't have to tone yourself down if you are very outspoken and loud. But there are some golden rules that you can remember to help you in terms of classroom management. Firstly, the quieter you are, the quieter a class will have to be to hear you. So you don't have to scream at the top of your lungs. Shouting has never achieved anything in a classroom. And if you realize that sometimes you need to speak a little softer to have a greater impact, do so. Ask yourself, how loud am I talking? Am I lifting the energy in my class higher than what I want it to be? Because have you ever realized, ladies and gentlemen, that you determine the energy level in your class? If you walk in and say, this is going to be a good lesson, it probably is. If you are, this isn't going to be fun, I'm having a bad day, I hate this class, it's going to be a horrible lesson. Because they reflect back what they see in you. So if you are passionate and enthusiastic and you make seriousness of what you're doing, that is what they are going to give back to you. So sometimes we have to ask ourselves, am I too loud? Am I lifting them up that their energy levels is too high? Because remember, we always have to start off at a low energy level. So you have to start off in a very calm and composed manner. Then through the lesson, we can make them a little bit more excited and then we bring them back down. But if we start up there, where do we have to go? That is why it's also important that you meet them at the door. They never meet you. Don't let your kids come in and they are talking and chatting and it's books and bags and it's loud and busy. You meet them at the door, they come in quietly, they stand behind their desk or they go and sit down, whatever you prefer. You greet them, we take out our books and then we start working in an orderly, formal, calm way. Then as the lesson progresses, we can have some fun, we can lift the energy, but there's space for moving the energy up. If we start with chaos, there's nowhere to go but to stay within chaos. It is important that your learners can hear you. So if you are very soft-spoken, you need to practice your teacher voice. You need to practice projecting your voice to the furthest corner of the classroom. It is so important that they all can hear you very clearly. If you can discipline students in a quiet manner, you will see that it has a direct impact on your classroom management. I want to say again that screaming at children has never had a positive outcome anywhere. And it's not only negative towards that one child who you might be screaming at, but it is negative towards the whole class. When you are talking to a student about their behavior, do it quietly or preferably in private. Do you remember the golden rule? Praise publicly but criticize privately. And calm teachers are quiet teachers who seem to be in control. And I want to say again that a calm and quiet teacher does not mean a soft-spoken teacher. You can be very energetic but still be calm. There's a difference between erratic and calm. We also have to do some serious thinking about our tone of voice. If I say, oh, but you are a very darling child, you are not going to believe me. Or if I say, I am going to really kill you for what you did now, that my tone of voice and the words that come out of my mouth are not congruent with each other. So your children will get to know your tone of voice very quickly. And they will know that when you take a certain tone, they are now playing on thin ice. And you won't need to tell them that. You can just change the tone of your voice. And it will show them that you are in control. You are managing your class. You are not disciplining your class. It is very powerful to simply lower your voice a bit. If I lower my voice, I sound much more firm and stern than when I speak like this. And especially for us as women, unfortunately, when we get excited or when we get upset, we raise our voice. And we do not only raise the volume of our voice, we raise the tone of our voice, and we tend to sound hysterical. And then immediately you sound like you are not in control. So when you are disciplining, make sure that you lower your tone, because a high tone is a recipe for disaster. And will you always feel as in control as you might want to sound? Of course not. But remember, there's two rules. Fake it till you make it, or faith it till you make it.